Choreb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit. Interpreted and narrated by Wendy. Jaqara, Leviticus, chapter 15. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe after the death of the two sons of Aharon, when they offered before Yahweh and died. Thus Yahweh said to Moshe, "Speak to Aharon your brother, that he does not come at all times into the holy, within the veil before the atonement covering, which is upon the ark, so that he does not die. For I will appear in the cloud upon the atonement covering. Also Aharon shall come into the holy with a young bull for a sin offering, and a ram for an ascension offering. He will put on the holy linen coat, and he will have the linen briefs upon his flesh, and be girded with a linen girdle. Also he will be attired with a linen turban. These are the holy garments. Therefore he will wash his flesh with water, and put them on. Then he will take from the congregation of the children of Yashariel 2 sires of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for an ascension offering. Also Aharon will offer his bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, then make an atonement for himself and for his house. Next he will take the 2 sires and present them before Yahweh by the door of the appointed tent. And Aharon will cast lots upon the 2 sires. 1 lot is for Yahweh, and the other lot is for Azazel, absent she-goat. Then Aharon will bring the sire upon which the lot fell for Yahweh, and offer him for a sin offering. However, the sire upon which the lot fell for Azazel, it will be presented alive before Yahweh, to make an atonement upon it. Then it will be let loose into the wilderness for Azazel. Also Aharon will bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and will make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he will kill the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he will take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before Yahweh, and a handful of sweet incense, beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he will put the incense upon the fire before Yahweh, that the cloud of the incense may cover the atonement's covering that is upon the testimony, so that he does not die. And he will take the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger upon the atonement's covering eastward, and before the appointed tent. He will sprinkle the blood with his finger 7 times. Then he will kill the sire of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring its blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull. Therefore he will sprinkle it upon the atonement's covering and before the atonement's covering. Thus he will make an atonement upon the holy, because of the uncleanliness of the children of Yashariel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. Also he will do it for the appointed tent, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanliness. However, there will be no man in the appointed tent when he goes in to make an atonement in the holy, until he comes out, and has made an atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the congregation of Yashariel. Then he will go out to the altar that is before Yahweh, and make an atonement for it, and will take the blood of the bull, and the blood of the sire, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about, and he will sprinkle the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanliness of the children of Yashariel. Then, once he has made an end of reconciling the holy, and the appointed tent, and the altar, he will bring the live sire. Then Aharon will lay both hands upon the head of the live sire, and confess over it all the iniquities of the children of Yisrael, and all their transgressions, in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the sire, and will send it away by the hand of a suitable man into the wilderness. Thus the sire will bear upon it all the iniquities to a land not inhabited. Then he will let the sire go into the wilderness. Next, Aharon will come into the appointed tent, and will take off the linen garments, which he put on when he went into the holy, and he will leave them there. Therefore he will wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth, and offer his ascension offering, and the ascension offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. Thus he will burn the fat of the sin offering upon the altar. Furthermore, he who let the sire go for Azazel will wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards come into the camp. Thus the bull for the sin offering, and the sire for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy, will be carried forth outside the camp. And they will burn their skins and their flesh and their dung in the fire. Thus he who burns them will wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards he will come into the camp. Therefore this will be an everlasting custom for you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th of the month, you will afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it is one from your own country or an immigrant who sojourns among you. For on that day the priest will make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that you may be clean from all your sins before Yahuwah. It will be a Shabbat of rest for you, and you will afflict your souls by an everlasting custom. Moreover, the priest whom he will anoint and whom he will consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead will make the atonement, and will put on the linen clothes, the holy garments. Also he will make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he will make an atonement for the appointed tent, and for the altar. So too he will make an atonement for the priests, and for all the people of the congregation. And this will be an everlasting custom for you, to make an atonement for the children of Yisrael, for all their sins once a year. Thus he did as Yahuwah commanded Moshe.